Good morning. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Zachary Allen Harris.
Mr. Harris, you are here in case 2021 CF 8189AO on a charge of tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, sir, and did find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, I'm going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $500, count two in the amount of $500. Conditions of your bonds will be pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to make sure you maintain a separate residence from this victim. Hello? Hello? How you doing? There you go. Keep and maintain a separate residence to this victim, from this victim, I apologize. I'll give you a one-time return to any shared residence you may have with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, make sure you abide by my orders. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. I'm sorry. I
No. All right, just want to make sure you're paying attention so you don't have a misunderstanding. And then you won't have to find out what happens when we have a misunderstanding. All right, have a great day, sir.
thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
Raquel Mendez.
Ms. Mendez, you are here in case 2021 MM 4768AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You're to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Don't.
All right, have a wonderful day, ma'am. All right, this is case 2016 CF 4567. Mr. Wilson is supposed to be out here for an out-of-county warrant from Bay County. You want to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance.
I'm going to state his bond at $0 for the FTA warrant from Bay County, and we can get him on to Bay County as soon as they're able to pick him up. All right, this is 2021 CF 4320AO. Ms. Morgan is supposed to be here on a violation of probation warrant. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent her in this case.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, going to state her bond at no bond is signed by the warrant by Judge Strobridge. And we're going to get her to VOP arraignments with Judge Lattimore as soon as we can.
Your Honor, doesn't she also have the possession of meth case?
I was looking for it. Maybe I just got stuck together. Maybe we get digging. The two cases I saw,
MDMA.
affidavit say violation of probation. Maybe I skipped one. There it is. I'm sorry. There it wasn't. It's in the back there. Actually, well, let me do this. In her warrant case, I want to say her bond is $0 bond. As his on-view violation of probation, other affidavit that I have, I'm going to release her on cognizance as to that one. As to the new charge, 2021 CF 8183AO, did find probable cause for her arrest. Going to state her bond amount of $1,000. Addition her bond, no drugs, no alcohol, no drug users or drug dealers. Going to appoint a public defender to represent her in that case as well. All right.
We have interpreters. Your Honor.
Yeah, there we go.
And the victim needs an interpreter also.
Cover your face. Wonderful. Put your mask on. Thank you. Have an interpreter. Maybe, maybe not.
Hello, Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System. From a touch tone.
There we go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jaime Sotomayor, certified federal interpreter, already sworn.
Good morning, Mr. Interpreter. This is
One
Judge
second
Van-
while I connect to the headphones.
Well, I was going to tell you, I don't need you to connect to the headphones because I need your help this morning. The first case I have a defendant and a victim that require your services. So I need you to stay on the overhead with me if you could for this first hearing.
Go ahead.
All right. The first case I have is 2021 CF 8188AO. Can I have the defendant tell me his name, please?
Buenos días, por favor, señor, su nombre completo.
Andreina Espina Castillo.
El acusado, por favor.
Ok.
Euclides Daniel Corona Gutiérrez.
Daniel Colón Arriaga.
All right. Is it Gutierrez or is it, what's your last name?
¿El apellido?
Gutiérrez.
Okay.
Gutiérrez.
Mr. Gutierrez, you're here in case 2021 CF 8188AO on charges of tampering with a witness to hinder communication, assault domestic violence, and battery domestic violence.
Muy bien, usted está aquí en el caso 21 CF 8188 por un caso de intervención con un testigo, agresión y acoso.
I did find probable cause for your arrest for these charges.
Yo he encontrado causa probable para su arresto por estos cargos.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Muy bien, señora. Entonces, su apellido, su nombre y deletreando el apellido.
Andreina Espina. Espina. Espina.
Andreina Espina. Espina.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para tomarle el juramento.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar en este caso será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Lo juro.
I do.
Right. You can put your hand down, ma'am. Could you tell me how you know Mr. Gonzalez? Mr. Gutierrez, I apologize.
Muy bien. Entonces, por favor, baje la mano. Dígame cómo conoce usted al señor Gutiérrez.
Él es mi esposo.
He's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with your husband while this case is pending?
¿Usted quiere tener contacto con su esposo mientras este caso está pendiente?
Sí.
Yes.
Has there been prior instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
¿Ha habido incidentes anteriores de violencia doméstica en el pasado entre ustedes?
Nunca.
Never.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
En este incidente en particular, ¿estuvieron envueltos algo de droga o alcohol?
De mi parte, alcohol.
On my part, alcohol.
So was your husband drinking as well?
¿Y su esposo estaba tomando también?
No. Solamente
No.
yo.
It was just me.
Mr. Gutierrez, in count one of this, I'm going to set your bond amount at $500, count two, $500, and count three, $500.
Muy bien, señor Gutiérrez. Yo voy a imponer una fianza en cada cargo. En el cargo número 1 va a ser $500, en el cargo número 2, $500 y en el número 3, $500.
You'll be subject to pretrial release supervision.
Usted va a estar sujeto a supervisión de la oficina de antelación al juicio.
You don't have no hostile contact with your wife.
Usted no debe tener contacto hostil con su esposa.
No hostile contact means this. You all are able to get into arguments and disagreements.
No
However,
contacto hostil significa lo siguiente. Ustedes pueden tener sus discusiones.
those arguments and disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. There can be no abusive language used.
Sin embargo, estos argumentos o discusiones no pueden tener violencia, no puede haber amenazas, no puede haber nada de intimidación.
Because if she calls law enforcement, or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing calls law enforcement, you will be arrested.
Porque si ella llama a las autoridades o alguien que vea el intercambio entre ustedes llama a las autoridades, usted puede ser arrestado.
You'll be taking up residency here at the Orange County Jail on a no bond status.
Lo van a enviar a la cárcel de Orange County sin fianza.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Quizá usted no posee ninguna arma de fuego o otra arma peligrosa, pero si tuviera alguna arma de fuego o arma peligrosa, la debe entregar a la oficina del sheriff de Orange County en las próximas 24 horas de ser liberado.
All right, sir, it tells me here that you make $1,500 per week.
Aquí mi información dice que usted gana $1,500 semanales. Yes.
All right. Sir, you're not going to qualify for the services of the public defender, so you're going to have to hire your own attorney if you want to seek representation, or you can always choose to represent yourself. Have a great day, sir.
Por lo tanto, usted no va a cualificar para representación de la oficina del defensor público, tiene que contratar su propio abogado si quiere representación legal y si no, tiene que representarse usted mismo. Buenos días.
All right. Now we can go to the headphones.
Connected, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Jensen González Díaz.
Jensen González Díaz.
Mr. Gonzalez Diaz, you are here in case 2021 MM4776AO on a charge of battery, domestic violence, and assault domestic violence. I did review your charging affidavit in both charges. Did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $500, count two, $250. Conditions of your bond to be subject to pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, yo lo que voy a hacer es que no me voy a acercar a ella y yo me voy para casa de ella.
No, all I'm going to do is that I'm not going to approach her again and I will go live at my mother's house.
All right. Make sure you don't have any contact, any other means as well. Have a great day. All right. All right. All right. Yes, Mr. Interpreter, I need you for one more case. And I'm going to do it on the overhead because I guess the victim needs your services. Betancourt.
No problem.
Misdemeanor domestic. Let me get there. I got it. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Señor, por favor, su nombre.
Brian Betancourt.
Brian Betancourt.
Mr. Betancourt, you're here in case 2021 MM4780AO on charge of battery domestic violence.
Usted está aquí en el caso 21 MM4880, un caso de agresión en violencia doméstica.
I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. It did find probable cause for your arrest.
Yo he revisado la declaración jurada de su caso y por lo tanto he encontrado causa probable para su arresto.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Marty, AnnettemaRty.
Do you need the services of the Spanish interpreter?
Yes, just in case.
All right. If you're going to use the services of the Spanish interpreter, I'm going to have you speak in Spanish, so then the interpreter can then translate, like, so we can use him, because otherwise it's hard to do what you understand, know what you understand, what you don't understand. All right, Mr. Interpreter, I guess you interpret that if you could.
Muy bien, si va a usar los servicios del intérprete, por favor, espere a la traducción de las preguntas y cuando conteste en español para que el intérprete pueda traducir, porque si no va a ser difícil saber qué usted está entendiendo y qué no ha entendido, y también hay que traducirle al acusado.
Your Honor, just for the record, I believe she's just a witness. I don't believe she is any of the listed victims in this case.
Y nos parece que ella es solamente testigo, no me parece que sea víctima según ha sido enumerada en este caso.
All right, ma'am, could you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para el juramento, señora.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con la ayuda de Dios. I do.
Ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Betancourt?
Muy bien, ¿me puede decir, señora, cómo es que usted conoce al señor Betancourt?
Es mi hijo.
He's my son.
All right. And what did you need to tell me or wanted to tell me about his release conditions as a witness in this case?
Muy bien, ¿y qué me puede decir usted entonces? ¿Qué quiere decirme usted en cuanto a las condiciones para liberarlo a él, siendo usted testigo en este caso? The interpreter was not able to hear. Señora, por favor, si puede hablar un poco más alto porque se me hace difícil
You can
escuchar.
bring, yep, here we go.
¿Sí me podría repetir la pregunta?
Could you please repeat your question?
Well, from my understanding,
Según yo tengo entendido,
is it the brother that's the victim, correct?
The father,
la
Your Honor.
víctima fue un hermano, el padre.
And since usually I ask questions of the victim, but since you're here, and if you wanted to say something, ask, make a statement, tell me anything about, setting release conditions, not about what happened, but, what type of release conditions you think would be appropriate in this case. I'll take testimony or listen to you as to that.
Usualmente tomamos el testimonio de la víctima, pero como usted está aquí, entonces vamos a pedirle que nos diga lo que usted crea que tenga que decir en cuanto a las condiciones para liberar a su hijo. O sea, qué condiciones usted cree. No me puede hablar del caso como tal, de los incidentes como tales, sino en cuanto a cómo sería entonces que usted podría ayudar al comportamiento de su hijo mientras él sea liberado.
Sí, ya que la situación ha ido escalando, su comportamiento.
Well, the behavior has been escalating.
Me gustaría si podrían ayudarme con algún programa donde él pueda terminar su escuela.
I would like to see if it was possible to provide us some help with any kind of a program where he can finish his schooling.
Estoy preocupada por su salud mental, ya que
I am worried about his mental health.
él usa marihuana y me gustaría si podrían ayudarme para algún programa de ¿verdad? Que lo ayuden.
He's been smoking marijuana, and I would like to see if it's possible to provide me with some help with a program that will help him.
Well, ma'am, I don't really have any programs per se that I can impose on your son at this time.
Bueno, señora, yo en realidad no tengo ningún programa que yo le pueda imponer a su hijo en este momento.
He's an adult as far as the law is concerned.
En lo que a la ley se refiere, él es un adulto.
And he's going to find out very shortly in time that decisions that he makes at this point in his life will follow him for the remainder of his life.
Y en muy poco tiempo él va a aprender que las decisiones que uno toma a esta edad lo van a seguir a él por el resto de su vida.
If he's lucky, he has a complete life ahead of him, somewhere between 60 and 70 years left.
Y si tiene suerte, pues él va a tener una vida completa, una vida plena de 60 o 70 años más.
But it's hard to overcome things if you decide to make bad choices at the beginning.
Pero es muy difícil dejar cosas atrás si uno decide al principio de su vida cometer errores y hacer cosas malas.
That's part of him growing up.
Eso es parte del crecimiento.
So, just like everybody else, he's got to figure it out.
Al igual que todo el mundo, él tiene que entender y aprender.
All right, Mr. Betancourt, as to this case, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $250.
Muy bien, en cuanto a este caso, señor Betancourt, yo le voy a dar una fianza de $250.
It's going to come with pretrial release supervision.
Eso va a incluir supervisión mientras esté en libertad anterior al juicio.
You did have no contact with the victim in this case.
No puede tener contacto con la víctima de este caso.
You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim.
Tiene que mantener una residencia por separado de esa víctima.
I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location.
Yo le voy a permitir que regrese en una sola ocasión al lugar de los hechos para recoger sus pertenencias acompañado de las autoridades.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms.
Usted no puede poseer ninguna arma de fuego ni otra arma peligrosa.
Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Cualquier arma de fuego o arma peligrosa que usted tenga tiene que ser entregada a las autoridades durante las primeras 24 horas luego de ser liberado.
You are to possess no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
No puede poseer ni droga ni alcohol sin una receta válida.
You are subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense.
Usted va a estar sujeto a pruebas de droga al azar, las cuales usted tendrá que pagar.
Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case.
Estoy nombrando a la oficina del defensor público para que lo represente en este caso.
All right. Hope you have a great day.
Y espero que tenga un buen día.
All right, I think that was it, Mr. Interpreter. Thank you so much for your hard work this morning.
No problem, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
Ashley Faircontrol.
Miss Clay, you are, say your name again?
Ashley Faircontrol.
What happened to Clay? Okay, well, let's switch. Oh, sorry. Stuck together here, sorry. Paperclips, I stuck together. All right, ma'am. You are here this morning in case 2021 CF 8171AO on charges of burglary of a dwelling with assault, battery, domestic violence, and assault and petty theft. This is a case reset from yesterday as the Judge Gibson defined PC as the count one.
Your Honor, I was not able to obtain another affidavit within those 24 hours. State's asking for an additional 24.
What is this? I reviewed the affidavit. I think there's enough for probable cause in my review of the affidavit for PC as the count one. But I was intending to set a bond for her in that case.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. The court is going to find probable cause as to your charge of count one. I'm going to set your bond amount of $10,000. Count two is going to be $1,000. And I'm going to stay your remaining bonds in amount of $250 on each case. Condition of the bonds that you have no contact with the victim in this case, not return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I think Judge Gibson already appointed the public defender to represent you yesterday. So we get you, just make sure you abide by my orders and have a great day.
Your Honor, state would also request no contact with the witnesses.
All right, sir. No contact with any witnesses or possible co-defendants. All right, have a great day. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Shawnee Clay.
Ms. Clay, you are here in case 2021 CF 8141 AO on charges of attempted second-degree murder with a weapon, aggravated battery causing great bodily harm with a weapon, and aggravated assault with a weapon and battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. I believe attempted second with a weapon is still a first-degree felony.
I spoke to Ms. George this morning. My understanding is an attempted second is a first, but it was my understanding that with a weapon potentially enhanced it.
Yep. So then good.
I think it's
Yeah, it's confusing when there's the attempted, no.
I think if it was attempted first with a weapon, I think that may be true. I think it goes from a kind of capital to a life. To a first and back to a life if you use a.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. George showed me a DCA case that kind of explained the statute some. So I agree with her that it is a first. My confusion was an attempted second, I thought was a first, and then the weapon would enhance it, but given her case law, I believe it maintains a first.
Yeah, well, I think first-degree murder obviously is a capital offense. Attempted first-degree murder, I believe, is a first-degree felony. And if you use some kind of weapon, you could still get firearm and/or weapon under the, I think it's a 77.04 or something like that. Yeah, it can be enhanced, kind of re-enhance it. So I think this is a first-degree felony in count one.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As to that charge, this court's going to set your bond, ma'am, an amount of $50,000, count two, $50,000, count three, $2,500, and count four, $500. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with any witnesses from this case, any victim, and the victim from this case. That you maintain a separate residence from that person. If you have a shared residence, I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement if you needed to retrieve any personal items you have. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be determined with law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Tyler Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, you're here in case 2021 CF 8177 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. What was it? Charging affidavit. I remember. Yep. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir. But my question is, so you're saying no firearms, period, while I'm doing the case?
No weapons or firearms, unless you have a job that requires a firearm, then that agency or person can come to the court and request that I return those firearms for the purpose of your employment, but not for any personal use, game, hunting, or anything else.
Yes, sir.
All right?
You said my bond is 1,500, right?
Yep.
It says 25 on the paper.
Yep. No, it's 1,500. Condition of bond that you are subject to pretrial release supervision. So you need to abide by all their rules. Make sure you don't violate any of my other orders. That way you can stay out and about and continue on while this case goes on.
All right.
State's requesting also no contact with the witness, Jeffrey Edgar, who is also a roommate in the house.
All right, that's it. I didn't say witnesses. Oh, sorry. No contact with doing witnesses as well.
All right.
All right, have a great day.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Lucero Selena Reyes Fuller.
All right. And, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Lucy Belinda Reyes.
All right, Ms. Reyes. All right, Ms. Reyes Fuller, you are here in case 2021 CF 8190AO on a charge of battery on a person 65 years and older. And Ms. Reyes, you are here in case 2021 CF 8191AO on the same charge, battery on a person 65 years and older. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your cases, did find probable cause for your arrest. All right. Going to set bond in each one of your cases in the same amount of $1,000. Condition of your bonds that you have no contact with the victims in this case. You have no contact with any witnesses. You have no contact with any co-defendants. That means you two have no contact with each other. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You all don't live with this victim, correct?
We do.
All right.
Contact with the witness this morning because she's the one gathering our things.
Okay.
My car.
I'll give you both one-time returns with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have in order that you maintain a separate residence from the victim in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you both in this matter. However, one of you is going to get regional conflict counsel, so you don't have an attorney that's representing a adverse party. You all have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please? Mr. Self, is it Self?
Self.
All right, Mr. Self, you are here in case 2021 CF 8169AO on charge of aggravated assault and domestic violence and battery. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor, I believe the officer meant, in the affidavit, he wrote bat DV and battery. I believe it was a clerical error, the ag assault.
So you think the charges are aggravated battery or battery, just regular battery?
I think it's bat DV and battery. Bat DV for his girlfriend, then
Right.
battery for the child. And that's what, in the last paragraph or so of the officer's affidavit, I believe that's what he intended for his narrative.
All right. I'll find probable cause in count one for battery domestic violence. I believe that's 784.03, I think -10, that's what you guys mark it as. And we're going to set your bond in that matter, still in the amount of $2,000. Count two, $2,000. Condition of your bonds that you had no contact with the victims in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from these victims. I'll give you a one-time return to any shared residence you have with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in your new case. As to your old case, case 2019 CF 1210AO, Court finding probable cause that you commit a new law offense while out on bond in that case is going to revoke that bond, going to set a new bond at $0. I believe you have a public defender already representing you in that matter.
Yes, sir.
He does.
You can get in front of that division judge and see if there's any appropriate release conditions that that judge feels appropriate. You have a great day, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Zacarias Zaisha Star Bellamy.
Ma'am, you are here in case 2021 CF 8192 AO on a charge of false imprisonment. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in that case in amount of $2,000. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with the victim in that case, that you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. If you have a question, I'm going to have you ask Ms. George, who's our public defender in my courtroom, because everything you ask me is on the record.
Yes, sir.
So go on.
I'm gonna ask her-
Yep, she's right next to you.
Your Honor, I would just ask that on the out on bond cases, that you, not revoke. My client currently has tubes in her back, that are draining out, that she needs to seek medical attention for. So if you are inclined to revoke, I would just ask that you revoke in double as opposed to revoking and holding her at no bond.
All right. That was my intention to do that anyways. Ma'am, you're out on bond in 3 matters, all grand thefts. Cases 2020 CF 868 AO, 2020 CF 551 AO, as well as 2020 CF 996 AO. Of course, going to revoke all those bonds in those cases, set new bonds amount of $2,500 in each case. Condition of those bonds are that you have no contact with any victims or witnesses and not return to the locations of those thefts.
I thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Nelson Tavares.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 8170 AO on charge of aggravated assault, domestic violence, and aggravated battery on a pregnant person. I did review the charging affidavit in your cases. In your charges, I did find probable cause as to both charges. Going to set your bond in count 1, amount of $2,500, count 2, $2,500. Condition of your bond is you to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Not at all. Actually, that third person is no longer never lived in my house at all. And is already in a completely different state.
Okay.
I don't know if I can talk to my public defender real quick about something because, I just.
Your Honor, would you be, my client just moved here. Would you be willing to reduce at least one of the bond amounts?
Just so I can go actually work. 'Cause I just moved down here. I don't have any criminal offenses ever, like in no states or anything like that. Just so I can go work, you know what I mean?
It's a possibility, but like not today. Not based on the information that I've read in that affidavit, and I don't have a victim here to talk to. So right now, excuse, bonds are set as they are. But you always approach your division judge if you're having problems bonding out.
Okay.
And
And what's that? What would I be paying in that case?
I don't know, whoever your bondsman, you gotta work that out with the bondsman.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Wiz McGamey.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 4782 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. You reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in amount of $1,500. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Alicia Shante Brand.
Ms. Brand, you're here in case 2021 MM 4767 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of, first question, state, these prior DV battery cases, are these all the same victim?
Here in Orange County, she has a 20 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. Another 20 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. Another 20 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. A violation of PTR condition on domestic violence and violation of probation in 2018. The victim of that was also Mr. Frazier. A 2018 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. A 2018 felony bat one prior, victim being Mr. Frazier, as well as another victim as well. An ag assault with a weapon DV 2016 felony, victim being Mr. Frazier. A 2010 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. A 2009 misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Miss Frazier. And then a 2006 non-arrest misdemeanor bat DV, victim being Mr. Frazier. And Mr. Frazier, it's Edward Frazier. So all the same victim, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Brand, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,000. It's going to be subject to pretrial release supervision. You had no contact with the victim in this case. You're to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have in this location.
Okay.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol while you're out on release. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Now, it's like different when you hear it out loud, right? Seems a little crazy, right? You know, just thoughts. You know, I don't know. You need the therapy. You all need therapy if you want to live together. But are you just oil and water and just just never gonna mix. You know, as much as you want it to. Just thoughts, you know, that you just want to come, you like seeing me. You know, come visit us at the Orange County Jail. All right? You should know how this goes by now then. Don't violate my orders.
Sir.
Have a great day. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning. Hashem El Hassan.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 4785 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case in amount of $2,000. Condition of your bond is you to have no contact with the victim in this case. Is you need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, not about the no contact order.
All right.
Can I get the bond reduced down to ROR? I don't have work.
No, not, you're charged with a dangerous crime, so I do have the authorization to do that, to release you on your own recognizance, but I don't think you qualify under the other parts of the statute because you have 2 prior failures to appear. You've been arrested for the same charge twice, dealing with 2 different victims. So, no. Have a great day. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
Jenny Engel.
Ms. Engel, you're here in case 2021 MM 4783 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Want to set your bond amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No.
All right. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
David Gondai, sir. Your Honor.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 4772 AO on charges of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Say, were these prior batteries just regular batteries or were they domestic violence in nature? Or just weren't?
I don't believe they're from Orange County. I can check CCIS 1 second.
What case is he on PTI for?
I believe it's a Lake County witness intimidation and battery case.
Okay.
20 CF 6 from Lake. That case is just a battery.
And is that Lake
There's-
County case involve the same victim? They follow information where you can tell?
See if I can see it. The information on that case cites Melanie Condi as the victim
Same.
of that 20 Lake County case. He also has a 2016 Lake County battery case. That one also says it went to pretrial diversion. The victim on that one, per the information, is also Melanie Condi. And that's all I see on TCIS, Your Honor.
All right, sir, going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond is you had no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Don't violate my order. You may want to, I don't know if your treatment was part of your conditions in your PTI. I don't know if you've been complying with that, but you should. It seems that there may be an issue that you may want to deal with. All right, have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, my name is Travai Lido.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 4774 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review your charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Ariana Villanueva, Villanueva.
Ms. Villanueva, could you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Is it Lindell?
Lido, sir.
Lidl? All right, Mr. Lidl. Ms. Villanueva, can you tell me how you know Mr. Lidl?
He's my boyfriend.
All right. And do you want to have contact with your boyfriend while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been prior instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
Alcohol.
And if something like this were to happen again, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes, but I want to say that I wasn't the one who called and I didn't want him to get arrested or any charges happen.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask a question like this to help on my clarification. How many times do arguments escalate between you all to this point? Like before the violence, like
what do you mean? Just
yelling,
loud?
fighting, like how do you guys usually argue?
So the amount of yelling, fighting we've had, probably this is our second argument that's gotten loud, but before that, other arguments are just, upset, conversational.
Okay. And how long have you all been together?
A year.
I'm going to line state. What do you think?
I'm sorry?
That's in the state of Florida for their input as to.
Your Honor, state would ask for no contact at this time to let there being a cooling off period. The argument likely would have escalated further if there wasn't a third party who was able to then help diffuse the situation as well as call law enforcement.
So I'm going to order no contact, but I want to just give you my perspective on it. Order no contact because when I order no hostile contact, that's exactly what happens. People get into arguments, they get loud, somebody calls the police, and then that person is arrested. And I'd rather just order no contact that way. But keep it clear, clean and clear, both of you help him out, and that's so he doesn't get arrested or violate my orders.
So we share a residence and we both live at the place. Like we pay rent in the same unit.
I mean, he's still on the contract. That's a contractual issue between you all and your landlord or leasing company or whatever you guys do. But, however you guys want to work that out is not really my number one concern, nor is something I can really help you out with right now because I can't advocate for you because I'm the judge.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Lidl, I'm going to set your bond in this case in amount $250. Is going to come with pretrial release supervision. Is to have you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this, appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right. You have a great day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Chad Prentice.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM4786AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about your, I want to put up one point, I'm sorry, do you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, it says here that you make $1,250 per week.
Approximately.
All right. You're not going to qualify for the services of the public defender in this case. So you're going to have to seek counsel, private counsel somewhere else, or represent yourself. It's up to you. All right. Have a great day, sir. What I do?
Allow him to go to South Carolina.
That's right, South Carolina. All right. I made a note and just kind of skipped over it. All right, sir, you can go back to South Carolina. All right. However, my orders still abide in South Carolina. If you violate my orders in South Carolina, they arrest you for violating my orders in South Carolina. They're going to put you on a bus, send you back to Florida. I'll see you probably about 2 months. All right?
Yes, sir.
So don't violate my orders. All right? Have a great day. All righty. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Xavier Williams.
Mr. Williams, you are here for 3 matters. The first one is 2019 CF 1371. It's a violation of probation case out of Sumter County. You're also here in 2018 CF 849 for a violation of probation out of Sumter County. Judges in Sumter County, set your bonds at $0 as your violation of probations. Your bonds will remain at $0 as to that. You were also arrested in case 2021 CF 197 out of Alachua County and on a homicide case. The judges in that case set your bonds at $0 in Alachua County. Want to order that you have no contact with any witnesses or co-defendants in that case or the victim's family while you're waiting to be transported to Alachua County. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases while you're here in my custody, and we get you on to whoever picks you up first, Alachua or Sumter. All right, have a great day. And that's it.
It is 1:31 p.m., Monday, July 12th, 2021. We are on the record. Could I have counsel please put your appearance on record?
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right.
Hey.
Good afternoon. Please tell me your name.
Ellie Holmes.
21 MM 4769. You're here charged with resisting an officer without violence and trespass on property after warning. Did the state have an offer in this case?
Not at this time.
All right. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
No.
I'm going to reduce his bond to $250 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. With special conditions, sir, you're not allowed to return to 3530 East Amelia Street. Do you understand? All right, good luck, sir.
False R is a refusal.
21 CF 8181, possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office, but I find her refusal a willing waiver of her appearance today.
Yes, Your Honor.
There is probable cause in this case. I'll stay the bond at 1,000 on count 1, reduce it to 100 on count 2, not possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription, and not have contact with any known drug dealers, or return to the 7-Eleven at 938 West Colonial Drive. And at this time, I'm revoking her out on bond case. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
Glenwood Cox.
Glenwood Cox?
They have my name wrong.
Okay, COX?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. You're here in 21 CF 8173, charged with aggravated battery. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Does the state wish to be heard on bond?
Your Honor, given we don't have the victim's statements here today, state would just ask that you set a reasonable bond. He doesn't have a fairly lengthy history, so however, he does have some prior battery cases.
All right, sir, your bond is going to be I'm going to make it $3,500. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, I do.
Sir, you can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You're not allowed to return to Al's Food Store. Do you know where that is?
Yes, I do.
All right, don't go back there. You understand? All right, good luck, sir.
Forums is behavior.
21 CF 8180. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
There is probable cause in this case. I'll stay the bond at 1,000. No contact with any known drug dealers, not possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Good afternoon, counsel. If you want to put your appearance on record, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Dean Bartzokis on behalf of the firm of Ali and Blankner for Kelly Woods.
This is 21 CT 4916. Ms. Woods, you're here charged with driving under the influence with property damage or personal injury. Counsel, did you wish to be heard as to probable cause?
No, not to probable cause on this case, Judge.
I agree. I do think there is probable cause in this case. But did you wish to be heard on bond?
Judge, we just asked for a standard bond for DUI. I'm here due to the, she's out on bond on another case. We would just ask that the court at this point in time take no action on that case, Your Honor. And, if the state wants to follow up, I believe it's in front of Judge Bigney, that they can do so. And at this point in time, Ms. Woods, she is a single mom of 2 children, a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. She does have a job. She's gainfully employed at, what is it Vital Signs, Judge in Orlando. We would ask that the court take no action on that particular case in this instance, Your Honor.
What says the state?
Your Honor, that case she picked up January 3rd of 2021. It looks like it's been set for trial multiple times, and it's currently set for motion to suppress. Given that she was out on bond on a DUI and subsequently picked up another DUI, state's asking that you revoke. It was about a 6-month difference between the 2 DUIs.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Counselor, I'm inclined to revoke it.
Your Honor, and obviously I know the issue with the court and the state is, I guess, a protection of the community standard. We would have no objection if the court would be willing to order that she equip herself with a Scram monitor within 24 hours of her release to ensure that she's not consuming or consuming any alcohol, Your Honor. And I think that would obviously ensure any issues that, the court or the state might have that she's consuming alcohol, which I do believe these are the only 2 cases that she has in her background as far as I'm concerned, or excuse me, as far as I know, Judge.
Your Honor,
Who monitors that?
Scram would be, I believe it would be, could be a monitor of pretrial release. I know it would be equipped to her, and then if it's, I think if it's alerted, then they will actually send a notification, not necessarily pretrial release, but Scram will send a notification to the court directly.
I believe David Bigney had a client that he wanted on that as well. Now I'm remembering this. Hold on, let me think about this. I'm sorry, State, did you want to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just trying to get the answer from him on that.
No, that's it's fine, Your Honor. State was just making the comment that I am concerned for the public safety. In the out on bond case, she blew over a .20. In this case, there's property damage. I don't even think a Scram monitor would potentially ensure the public safety. I believe in her out on bond case.
And Judge, I do believe her vehicle was towed, and she doesn't have access to a vehicle at this point in time. That's correct, right?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to revoke your bond in your out on bond case, but instead of holding you at no bond, I will give you a new bond. I'm going to double it, so it'll be $1,000, and it'll be $1,000 in this case as well. You're not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. You'll be subject to random alcohol screens. I can order that through pretrial release, right?
Yes.
All right, so you'll be subject to random alcohol screens. You can't drive without a valid Florida driver's license. And you can help set her up with a Scram monitor?
Yes, Judge, we'll have her, within 24 hours, she'll have to contact, as long as it's part of the order, we'll contact the Florida Safety Council and get it.
All right, then I'm going to order the Scram monitor in this case. So within 24 hours, she'll have to contact, you said Florida Safety Council?
I believe it's Florida Safety Council that we've done it a couple times, Judge. I do
Okay.
believe it's Safety Council.
I just want to make sure it's clear for her, and you're her counsel, so you do that, because I'm not trying to set her up to violate right away. If for some reason there's a problem with this, make sure you get a motion before me or Judge Bigney right away, because I don't want to set her up for failure, but I want to make sure that it's reasonable.
Yes, understand.
So, okay, all right. Any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Sorry, what? 24 hours. All right, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Good luck, ma'am.
Maybe excuse?
Yes, have a nice day.
Have a nice day, Your Honor. Good to see you.
After this one, Dexter, I got to take a break. Sir, please tell me your name.
Damian Anthony Davis.
Sir, you're here in 21 MM 294, charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause in this case. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, no return.
And, Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Mr. Davis. He understands all the rights he will be given up and would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Sir, please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, you heard what Ms. George just said. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes.
And you had a chance to discuss with her the rights you're giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest?
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
Do you have any questions for me about those rights?
No, ma'am.
And you understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Yes.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea could deport you?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol or anything today that could impair your ability to understand what you're doing?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, you don't appear to be. You appear to be alert and intelligent. At this time, sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge of trespass on property after warning?
No contest, Your Honor.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. Sir, do you have a job?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Do you have a home?
Yeah, I stay at 8218 Old Grove Drive, Orlando, Florida.
Do you live there with other people or by yourself?
Live there with my mom.
Can you reduce it to judgment, Your Honor?
I'm going to. All right, good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing. I don't guess I have to go off the record. It'll just take me a minute. I have to read something and sign it. All right, we're back on the record. It's 1:59. Sir, please tell me your name.
Antoine Demiz Jean. Antoine Jean Demiz.
Thank you. 21 MM 4778. You're here charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting an officer without violence. Was there an offer in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer was no information on count 1, the paraphernalia, and an adjudication credit time served on the count 2, resisting without.
And, Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Mr. Marcel, and he understands all the rights he will be giving up, and he wants to accept the state's offer here today.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You heard what Ms. George just said. You can put your hand down now. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had a chance to talk to her about all the rights that you'll be giving up. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for me about those rights?
Oh, Your Honor.
Other than the state's offer, has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to take this plea agreement?
No, they haven't.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. As to count 2, resisting an officer without violence, how do you wish to plea?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay them. I believe at this time the state has an announcement to make.
State announces a no information to the count 1, possession of drug paraphernalia, and I've already followed that up with the clerk.
All right, thank you. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing. Please tell me your name.
Nathan Lloyd Franklin.
21 MM 4777. You're here charged with indecent exposure. There is probable cause in this case. Is there an offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond will be $500. You're not allowed to have any contact with any witness in the case or allowed to return to the 7-Eleven at 327 South Orange Blossom Trail. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, 19 Orlando Police Department.
I don't know if it is or not. But you can't go back to that store. You understand that? All right, sir.
Your Honor, and I believe in the out on bond case, they were having him evaluated for competency issues, but there has not been a court order deeming him incompetent as of yet.
What says the state as to out on bond?
Your Honor, given that there isn't a court order regarding competency, state would ask that you revoke. It's the first case he just picked up May 12th. The second case, I believe that one potentially is in comp proceedings. The petty theft 2 prior. The next date on that one is a competency hearing in front of Judge Alvaro. And then the third, that arrest was recent, April 19th of 2021, and that one has not gone to comp proceedings either.
I'm going to take no action on those cases at this time. Thank you. (21 MM 4775). I'm going to appoint your office, Ms. George.
I'm going to waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, there is probable cause.
I would see if he can be screened for mental health pretrial release, Your Honor.
I am gonna see if he can be screened for mental health pretrial release. And then if not, I'll make the bond $250 with no return and no contact with any witnesses. Please tell me your name.
My name is Fermin Velasquez.
21 MM 4773. You're here charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Is there an offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor. He just pled to trespasses from this same location, April 14th and July 6th.
All right, sir, your bond is $500. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You cannot return to the 7-Eleven at 9562 East Colonial Drive. Do you understand? You can't go back there for any reason at all.
Passing by, but yeah.
You can't pass by there. You understand that? All right, good luck, sir.
So, when is my court date?
I don't know when your next court date will be, but if you stay in touch with your attorney, they'll make sure that you know when it is. Good luck.
Benitez bonded.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Jonathan Bishop.
21 MO 784. You're here charged with disorderly conduct. Was there an offer in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer withhold credit time served.
Your Honor, I missed this one. Can I just have a second?
Yes.
Your Honor, he understands Mr. Bishop's understands all the rights he will be given up and would like to accept the state's offer here today of a withhold of adjudication credit time served. I'm not sure because I don't have it in front of me. Did they mention DCF or anything in the arrest affidavit?
No.
Okay. His son was with him apparently during the altercation, and he does not know where his son went.
I don't see anything about DCF in it, but you might have something I don't have.
I don't have that, but just because the officer doesn't write it doesn't mean that they weren't potentially called.
Okay, thank you. But he would like to accept the state's offer.
All right, please raise your right hand, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, sir. You heard what Ms. George just said. You can put your hand down now. Is that what you wish to do here today?
Yes.
And you had an opportunity to discuss with her the constitutional rights you'll be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about those rights?
No.
You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Okay, yes.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea could subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Other than the state's offer, has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to enter this plea?
No.
At this time, how do you wish to plead to disorderly conduct?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. You're not allowed to return to the Orlando International Airport without a valid plane ticket. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Who's that? Oh, okay, thank you. One moment. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
Mia Benitez.
You're here in 21MO783, charged with disorderly conduct.
Yes.
There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer withhold credit time served.
And Your Honor, we were gonna ask for an ROR because it looks like she only had a criminal history from 2017, which was a juvenile history, in order for her maybe to qualify for pretrial diversion later. But I believe she's already posted bond, so I would just ask that you, oh, she has not?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's a city case. I don't know. They
What they
don't,
would do?
I don't know if they have a pretrial diversion program. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I would just ask for a ROR, Your Honor. She has no criminal history, and just to see if that will be possible.
Any objection from the state? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, that's fine.
Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
I'll release you on your own recognizance, but you cannot return to the Tier nightclub. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, good luck. They're going to give you a court date, right? Oh, it'll be on your paperwork. Okay. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Smith.
21MO786, you're here charged with possession and consumption of alcohol in public where prohibited and violation of state misdemeanors. Is there an offer?
Yes, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer withhold credit time served.
And Your Honor, I did speak to Mr. Smith. We went over all the rights he would be giving up. He understands those rights and would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You heard what Ms. George just said. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yeah, if I'm leaving.
You would be. You had a chance to discuss with her all the constitutional rights you'll be waiving if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights? Do you have any questions for me about them? You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that.
Yes, I'm not planning on getting on probation.
I believe you, but I have to ask everyone because you could be on probation in another state and I wouldn't know. If you're not a US citizen, this plea could deport you. You understand that? At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charges of violating state misdemeanors and possession or consumption of alcohol where prohibited in public?
No contest.
I'll accept your pleas. I find they're freely and voluntarily made. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that.
Your Honor, state would also ask for a no return. The state misdemeanors is based off of trespass.
Yes, I'll order that. Give me the address, counselor.
18 South Orange Blossom Trail, the Red Sea Store.
You understand you can't go back there?
Yes.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay.
30 days to appeal in writing. Christopher Brody. Please tell me your name.
Christian Alexander Cabello.
You're here in 21 CT 684, charged with driving under the influence with a balance greater than .15. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You also can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that he's out on bond. Actually, he was ROR'd for aggravated battery with a firearm. What's that about? Did the state not file it?
Are you asking me?
We have filed, Your Honor.
But I mean, did you not file within 33 days?
We filed 414.
Oh, then I see surety bond, so I don't know.
I don't believe he was ROR'd, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, he's out on bond for aggravated assault with a firearm and 5 counts of, that's aggravated assault, and then 1 count of aggravated battery with the firearm, and he's arrested for DUI.
We ended up filing 5 counts of ag assault with a deadly weapon.
I'm inclined to revoke it,
That would be the state's
Ms.
request.
George, unless you can give me a reason not to.
Your Honor, I would just argue that it looks like he has no other criminal history besides the out on bond and the new charge. It looks like he is employed full-time as a UCF teacher. So I just ask that you take that into consideration. If you are inclined to revoke, you revoke and double.
Oh, in the DUI, you're also not allowed to return to the public house
Yes, ma'am.
or any bar, any establishment whose primary purpose is serving alcohol. You can't go there right now.
Understood.
I'm going to revoke your bond. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Javed Williams.
21 CF 8172. You're here charged with criminal mischief greater than $1,000 and resisting an officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
It says he qualifies for pretrial release. Does the state object?
Your Honor, do you mind saying the case number again?
21 CF 8172.
One second, Your Honor. I don't have this affidavit.
Sir, you have a job?
Yes, I do.
Where do you work?
I work at Laser Shipping Company.
Okay,
Actually, I have 2 jobs. I'm supposed to start the next one on Wednesday.
all right.
Your Honor, and I would just say that he has no criminal history.
Yeah.
This is his only charge, so I'll just ask for pretrial release.
Your Honor, state has no objection.
At this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release with special conditions. You can't go back to the Orlando International Airport without a valid ticket. You understand that?
I love you guys and I appreciate it. And I want to apologize to the officers any chance I get.
Your Honor, state would also ask for no contact with the victim in the case, Gloria Carrera.
I'll order that as well. Good luck, sir.
I'll pay for her thing too.
All right, good luck. Thank you, sir. Please tell me your name. A capias was issued for your arrest in 21 MM 62 for failing to appear for arraignment on a charge of petty theft of $100 or more. Your bond is $2,000, and I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Then in 20 CF 15095, a warrant was issued for your arrest for violation of conditions of pretrial release, in that you received a citation for petty theft and reported for a drug test and tested positive for cocaine and THC. On that warrant, the judge is authorizing pretrial release. Does he qualify for that?
No, Your Honor.
They didn't deny it downstairs. Or I would have asked you to, strike it from the warrant.
Well, that's what the warrant says that Judge Barber signed. It says pretrial release with random urinalysis weekly. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you in that one as well. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Vasily Florianovich.
21 CF 7952, a warrant was issued for your arrest, charging you with grand theft of a motor vehicle. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. Your bond is $5,000. You can't have any contact with the victim. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you, sir. Good luck. 21 CF 7821. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
It's a warrant, $5,000 bond, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. I'm not revoking the out-on-bond case.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name. I can't hear you. It looks like you have a violation of probation out of Hillsborough County in 173849. There's no bond on that, and we'll notify Hillsborough County that you're here so they can transport you. But you also have 21 CF 8193 here in Orange County, wherein you're charged with possession of firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of a controlled substance with a weapon, possession of counterfeit, $10 or more counterfeit bills, possession of MDMA, possession of oxycodone, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams, attempted destruction of evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia. At this time, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Ms. George, did you have any arguments to make?
I did not, Your Honor.
I agree. I just wanted to give you the opportunity before I went past that. All right, I do find probable cause in this case. At this time, I will stay your bond at $4,000 on count 1. On count 2, it'll be $4,000, and then I'll treat the rest as subsidiaries. So it'll be $150 on counts 3, 4, 5, 6, and $100 on 7 and 8. You can't have contact with any known drug dealers. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand? Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No contact with the witness, Carolyn Lee.
And I will order that you're not allowed to have contact with any witness in the case. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
David Grant.
21 CF 8168. You're here charged with 2 counts of battery with a prior battery and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I do find there's probable cause in this case. Your bond will be, it is 2 counts of battery, right?
Yes,
Do
Your
you
Honor.
have? All right.
2 counts of battery with a prior.
Right, but right. it's just written weird on this, so I wanted to make sure it is 2 counts. It'll be $2,000 on each of those counts and $100 on count 3. You can't have any contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand? Where did this take place?
In the
Is it a
living
residence?
room, yes, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Grant was renting a room from the victim.
All right, I'm going to order that you must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Do you understand? All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name. 21 CF 8174. You're here charged with aggravated battery with a weapon and petty theft of $100 or more.
I'm not accepting any of these charges.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, this guy stole.
Don't talk about the facts of the case.
So let me tell you why we're here today. It's just to determine if there's probable cause and set bond conditions for you. If you think that you have some defenses in this case, you want to talk to an attorney about them and raise them in front of the trial judge, but we won't have an evidentiary hearing today. I did review the probable cause affidavit. There is probable cause in this case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $5,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. You can't have any contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Well, I'm actually the victim.
All right, you can't have contact with anyone else who is involved in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't return to,
It was an I-4 overpass, underpass.
yeah, that's gonna be really hard to. I'm not gonna order a no return. Are there any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and then I also show that you're out on bond.
And Your Honor, I would just argue that his out of bond charges are drug offenses. It appears for the most part, he has a relatively nonviolent history. I see petty theft, driving while license suspended. But it's nonviolent for the most part. I would just ask that you take that into consideration. As you can see, he wants to fight these charges and he's adamantly disputing them. So I just ask that you take that into consideration and the fact that he is employed part-time. I believe in the other case, he was not. He had to get help getting bond on those, so I would just ask that you not take any action on those. I would see 3 misdemeanors.
What says the state?
Yeah, and the state would ask that you revoke them, or if you're not inclined to do so, at least revoke and set a higher bond. He picked up the possession of cocaine case in April, and then picked up the MDMA case in May. So it appears that his behavior is likely escalating. And I do believe he does have at least 1 prior arrest from out of state for an assault. But it looks as if his behavior is enhancing to more violent things, potentially due to the drugs.
I mean, the guy.
Don't talk about it.
So the reason she's telling you not to talk about the facts is everything you say here today is being recorded and can be used against you later. I'm going to take no action on the out on bond case at this time. But sir, there's a phone number on that piece of paper for you to call your attorney. You want to do that right away, okay? You understand? All right, good luck. Please tell me your name. 21 CF 8179. You're here charged with battery with 2 priors and indecent exposure. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $2,500 on count 1, $500 on count 2. You can't have contact with any victim or witness in the case. Do you understand that? You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Where did this take place? Can the state tell me? It's this plaza, right?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
I need that address.
2800 North Pine Hills Road.
All right, you can't go back to that plaza. Do you understand? Yes.
I don't know.
I can't accept a plea today on this because of the type of charge that it is. So you won't be able to resolve it today. But I appointed an attorney to represent you. She's going to give you a piece of paper with a phone number. Call that number right away so that you can talk to the attorney who will be representing you in front of the trial judge. You do. It's $2,500 on count 1 and $500 on count 2. However, I have an out on bond. I'm not going to revoke that.
It's an open container, Your
And
Honor.
Your Honor, I see that we're not appointed. I don't know why.
In the out on bond,
Yeah, I don't know if it, in my system, it's not showing.
I'll appoint you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, ma'am. Please tell me your name.
Jefferson, Lord.
21MO787, you're here charged with disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you and stay the bond at $150. And then in 21 CF 8178, you're charged with battery on law enforcement officer and resisting an officer with violence.
Still without violence. My paperwork.
Well, sir, at this time, I'm reading the probable cause affidavit. I do find there's probable cause for the charge. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you in this one as well. I'm going to stay the bonds at $2,500 and $1,000. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. I also show that he's out on bond.
Yes, Your Honor, state would ask that you revoke. He has 13 prior failures to appear, one of the last ones being in April, as well as other violent history and extensive probation violations.
Ms. George?
Your Honor, I would just argue that his last conviction was a trespass. It seems he's disabled. So I just ask that if you are going to revoke, you revoke in double as opposed to holding him at no bond. I believe they're nonviolent offenses, that he picked up the drug possession charges.
Which ones?
The out on bond, Your Honor. It looks like it's possession of drug paraphernalia and MDMA.
Your Honor, he has, as recently as about a month ago, pled to a trespass.
I believe I saw him on that.
And this case was pending at the time of that one, and you likely told him you were taking a break.
Right.
Because he was playing, and however, he's now picked up new law offenses again. For that reason, state would ask that you revoke.
Your Honor, I would just point to the fact also that my client is currently transient.
I'm going to take no action on the out on bond case. Good luck, sir.